you think about that? What you
Okay.
think about
All right. Hello. So this is our first podcast. We are starting this. It's called Sempre Skin Secrets. Sempre de Medical Spa is our spa. I'm the owner, Katie, and this is Ashley, our lead esthetician and manager here. We're in Johns Creek, Georgia, and we decided to start this podcast because I think there are a lot of people who have questions about skincare and things you do with your body. What else? We do a lot of stuff here. So our plan is to kind of have different staff on, talk about their backgrounds, talk about their specialties. We'll have different reps on, talking about their products and their machines. So we'll just informative. I'm sure there'll be some laughs and things like that.
Yes.
This first podcast is kind of to introduce ourselves and the spa. So I bought this spa, 3.5 years ago from the previous owner. And
why did you buy it?
Because my ex-husband wanted to buy it.
That's a good reason.
That was good. He was like, we should own some small businesses. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I have a lot of free time with 3 little kids. Sure. And we had looked into a lot of different businesses, very different from spa. I knew nothing about a spa. We looked at trailer parks, liquor stores, car washes, all of which I think I would have been really good at owning. And somehow we landed on a spa. And the previous owner, Amy, she had it for 8 years. And we came in and I think she had 4 massage therapists, 1 esthetician that was her niece, and she was owner-operator. So what my ex-husband told me I would be doing was keeping the books. And I was like, I used to be an accountant. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And so we naively bought it, and I thought I'll go in, learn about the biz, and then I'll go home and I'll probably not be back much. And I was really wrong.
You're a full-time employee.
I'm a full-time employee
/ owner.
I use a lot of power tools. Let's see, I'm a maintenance lady, toilet cleaner, grocery runner, bookkeeper. Everybody does demos on me when we get new machines. I have a scarred up back to prove it.
That's why your face is glowing.
Exactly. But anyway, so we bought it, and then our intent was to add a med spa to it and grow it. And in the first few months, I was just trying to learn about owning a business I knew nothing about, learned about massages, begged all my staff not to leave me. So that we had here. And then we added the med spa earlier than probably what we anticipated. Oh my gosh, I remember having, who makes Xeomin? I don't know the name of that company. Anyway, that rep came in after we hired a medical director, and she was like, all right, buy 10 boxes of Xeomin, which is a tox. And she was like, and you get 10 free. She was like, it's going to fly off the shelf. And I had 2 injectors that were good, but they were very part-time. And we sat on those 20 boxes of Xeomin for like 9 months, I think, until Bettina came in. I mean, we literally had like I remember the first time someone booked Botox, I was like, oh my God, we're going to be rich. We had some, I mean, we literally, I think we just used the last box of Xeomin like a few months ago.
Probably.
On my face, which is really sad. I was like, we're going to be poor. So I think right before I hired Bettina, you came on.
Yeah, I think I came on probably 4 months after you opened, or like 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
But adding a med spa piece is huge. It's two different worlds, like day spa and med spa. So the fact that you were able to do both of those so quickly and grow the business, that's amazing.
And not die.
And
and survive with just one divorce.
Yes.
Yeah, it was wild. Learning about like all the rules around like med world and like just adding, like regulations and that kind of stuff. But it's just totally different than, okay, you come in, you fill out an intake form, you get a massage, you leave.
Yeah.
And then like the skincare part of it though really started amping up, I think, when we brought you on. We had Bassie, who was good, but it was just very like basic facials. And you came from a med spa, right?
Yeah, I came from a doctor's office that was a solo on like hormone therapy, but he also had a med spa portion that he wanted me to help him develop and kind of create longevity with it. So, being a doctor, he had all the machines, whether it be CO2, the IPLs. And basically he's like, all right, let's put all these to use. So,
and we had no machines, and we were like, we're not going to buy any machines. We're just going to focus on injectables and facials and massages. And then the Morpheus rep got me.
Yeah.
I forget his name. From InMode.
Rob?
No, it wasn't Rob. It was a sales guy. Golly, he has like a baby face. Anyway, he come in here and I was like hanging those curtain things and I was on a ladder and he was like, hey, remember our meeting today? I was like, I don't know who you are. What are you talking about?
That's how it usually goes.
Yeah.
Meeting.
But we have a meeting and he had like coffee and I was like, well, I'll take your coffee. And I was like, I'm not getting off this ladder. Oh no. I was scraping the tint off of those windows. Oh. And I'm like scraping with a scraper and I'm on a ladder and I'm like, do your spill. I'll drink the coffee, but I'm not going to stop like my maintenance work. And he was like, this machine's amazing. And and I was like, damn, I'm sold. And so I went home and I told my husband at the time, I was like, listen, all right, there's this machine. And he was like, we're not buying machines. I was like, I know we're not making any money right now. But I think this is our gateway, our gateway drug, I'm like, this is going to be everything. This kid came in and gave me Starbucks coffee and he told me his face is beautiful. So I want his face. And so it's probably because he was like 20, but he, I remember Ryan being like, how much is the machine? I was like, it's only $300,000. It's fine. It's fine. And he was like, holy shit, that's what we pay for the business. Anyway, so we ended up getting a deal on it, because it was one of those, they always are like going to sling you a deal. And that's when I started talking to Rob from InMode. And so I was like, this machine is going to have IPL laser, which I don't know what that does. And it's going to have laser hair removal. And it's going to have Morpheus 8 for your face and your body. I was like, the Kardashians are doing it. We got to do it. And so we did it. I remember we were at the beach when we closed that deal finally. And I remember being like, oh my God, how are we going to pay for this thing? And the reps were like, you only have to do one. You only have to do one a month. And I was like, anybody can do one a month. Turns out it's really hard to do.
Yeah. I will say we definitely used, after we got it, we definitely used a lot of the Morpheus and we used a lot of the laser hair removal. the RF microneedling, and the IPL. And it really helped like versatile the spa with our facials that we have. I feel like that was the missing piece.
It really was. It was. And we've been able to pay for it so far. So, that's been good. Yeah, I think that was like a turning point where we kind of like leveled up. That's when our sales really started, like our revenue started doubling. Once we got that and we got trained, it brought, like I know it brought in Tamara.
Yeah.
Like, so it brought a better quality of like staff, I think, for like the med and the skincare side of it.
Yeah.
And it also kind of, I think it started like to legitimize our like, hey, we're really a full med spa. Like we started tracking that better.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we got in with, cause in different reps, like from, Galderma and, Allergan, they started kind of noticing us. It kind of put us on the map. So then they started beating down our door to take our money too. And that was good. We went platinum, in 2024? I remember thinking with Allergan, they were like, "You're platinum." And I was like, that doesn't mean anything to me other than we just spent a shit ton of money. It's good for you. I'm like, I'll feel like we went platinum if we sell all this. So anyway, so we got we brought on, Bettina was big for injectables. That's when we got somebody. It's crazy because you have to, before you too, or right around when I hired you, when you came on kind of like full time, I remember I just had like the massage therapist commission base. If they don't have a massage, they're not here because they're not getting paid. And that's how we did with the injectors and estheticians.
Yeah.
And I remember, and that was a shit show because like you'd have somebody book and then the esthetician would be like, "I'm not coming in." And so bringing you in, I was like, okay, I like, there's a lot of moments where you're kind of like with buying like the Morpheus, like the Optimus. You're like, I just have to eat this cost and hopefully it pays off. And so I remember being like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to pay people to like be here and have no idea if they're going to have appointments or not. But it worked out.
You always got to take the risk.
You got to
level up.
Yep. So that worked. And then I remember like feeling sick to my stomach when I hired Bettina because I was like, you want how much money now? I'm like, you're just going to be here, like no matter what. But again, it worked out. And then now we have 3 injectors, Haga, Jacqueline, and Bettina's left and then came back to us a little bit. How many estheticians?
4 estheticians.
You, Louisa, Danielle, and Tamara. And then a medical director, Dr. Collinger. We have a nurse practitioner, Claire. She oversees our weight loss program mainly. And how many massage therapists?
I think we have like 8.
All right. Yeah, I think and then front desk.
We have 6, 10.
3 now. So as of yesterday.
They keep multiplying.
But they go up and down. So we have a big staff.
Yeah.
Coming in, I had 4 massage therapists and 1 esthetician.
Yeah.
And then Renee was like my front desk. And then that was it. We were tiny.
I feel like day spa, med spa, like makes it sound like a little easier at ease, but I feel like because we are a day med spa and the amount of staff that we have on, I feel like it can be super chaotic. Cause I would think like your traditional med spa, like, 2 estheticians, like a doctor, probably 1 injector, maybe 2, and an NP. So we have a full house here, and there's a bunch of moving parts, and it's fun.
It is, yeah. We've got like 4,000 square feet. So there's a lot of room for things to break and go wrong. How many treatment rooms do we have? We have
10.
10.
11 counting the med
The
spa.
med spa room, yeah. And then the head spa,
Oh, yeah.
we have that area, the Japanese head spa, which was something else that was crazy to add on.
Yeah.
When the beds came from China, like 5 months after they were supposed to be here. I didn't know if we were really going to pull that one off or not.
Yeah.
So we do that. And then our newest machine is the Tetra Pro.
Yes.
Our new CO2 laser with a cool pill. So now we have it all.
Yeah, we pretty much have it all. They're all versatile. I feel like when you have this, you pretty much have it all.
Yeah.
There's always new names and new things, but this is the basics. This is what you need.
Yeah. So we do everything. I always tell people, if you can do it to your body or your face, we do it.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
for sure.
Yeah, I think so. And my other favorite thing about our spa that I think is so different is that everyone is very highly trained and skilled in what they do. I just think about even our massage therapists, they're literally, I think, all classically trained in different countries, like in China and Thailand, and they do it. Most of them are moms, except Tenko.
We have one
He's our one male. But what's really cool is I don't think all of them really have to work. And
I
they
think that is the case.
and they do it because they legitimately enjoy it. I know one, I think Let was telling me the other day, she was like, I do massage for me. And I thought that was really crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I don't think I've ever had a job like that. I was like, I'm just here doing this for me because I love it, you know?
Yeah.
But
That's awesome.
So that's going to be a different experience, I think, when you're getting a service from somebody who's obviously everybody wants to get paid, you know, and the extra money I think is helpful. But a lot of them, again, they're moms, they have kids, they're not able to work full time and stuff, but they come in because it's almost therapeutic for them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to feel that, I think, in your massage. It's going to be, it's going to be different. So that's something really unique. And then our estheticians, you guys are really passionate about what you do. I feel like you've done other things, you can do other things, but you kind of choose go down this path. And I know you're very patient oriented. Always check up on your patients, checking in to see how they're doing after you burn their face off. You want to know. Are you still with me? Are you still alive? Did you survive?
I think we all come from different backgrounds. So like you're saying, that's really cool. Tamra, she's been in the industry with aesthetics, I don't know, maybe I think 27 years is what she told us online.
Yeah.
So she's very, she has a following. She has, her way that she does her facials that people love. And she can kind of bring the old school and new school mix to us. And I think that's really unique. We kind of have, someone for everybody, I feel like.
Yeah. And it's funny how people they latch on to, certain, that's what I love when, that's another thing. I know I've hired people before and they're like, okay, what's the Sempre way? How do we, and I don't like that. I know, I hate to drop names or whatever, but I know like Woodhouse and some other, places, they're very you're going to get the same experience from every single person you see. And I think there's something to that in that if you're bringing, I see why they do it.
Yeah.
And I get it from a business perspective. And so it's always consistent. But I think I like the uniqueness of you're going to get something different from everybody you see. But then people, that's how they found their person, their esthetician, their massage therapist, their injector. I like that everyone brings their own creativity and experience. And it's kind of it's more about your person
Yeah.
than the spa. What I like to have like kind of regimented and consistent here is like the ambiance, the atmosphere. Like, you know, you're going to get like fresh water with like fruit, and we
Yes.
do our mint here, and you gotta use mint. We're always gonna have our chocolates. We're gonna have, you know, our scones out, like our, you know, so that kind of thing where, you know, people, they know what to expect from the place.
Yeah.
But I like that they, you know, they may try a couple different people and then they get hooked on like their provider. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes us special.
That is very true. I remember I went to a med spa in the area and I bought a package. This was before I worked in aesthetics. And I was seeing this girl for facials, and they could kind of include whatever they wanted in that facial. It might be IPL. We kind of do something similar, but she was like, I was seeing no results, but I just love to see her. So I was like, I'll be back next month for my second. It was like my fifth one. I was like, man, I love this girl. Don't know what we were doing in that room, but at the time it was not aesthetics. But I was like, I really enjoy seeing her once a month.
Like, you're my friend. I know you get to where like you kind of like want to check in on.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, all right, feel me. I think you guys feel like that too. I know I feel like that when I'm at the front or something. I'm like, oh, so and so's coming in. Oh, I wonder how their trip was. You know,
Yeah.
like, and you. I think there's definitely like a therapy portion
Yeah.
to that when you find your person. Yeah, you're gonna come in and like spill the beans, or what is it? Is that what you say?
I guess just like let it all out in the room.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, like, our job is to not forget. So we just ask them the same question.
How's that guy you're seeing? Y'all still together? How's your kids? I know. I think I always, Ashley's my favorite esthetician. I mean, everybody here is good, but I, like you, again, you kind of are drawn to somebody. So I'll lay down and be like talking for like 10 or 15 minutes. And then I usually just kind of like conk out.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me get all this on my chest first. And then, okay, like I'm done.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I don't like about, there's some of our massage therapists, it's so funny that I'll go in, some of my favorite ones, to get a massage. And like the first 20 minutes of my massage, they're like, hey, did you know that this shelf is breaking? You're going to fix this. And hey, can you?
Oh, yes.
And I'm laying there naked on the bed, like, let's not talk about work right now.
Yeah.
And then finally they'll let me have my peace.
They're like, finally, Katie's in. Let's hone her down all we can.
I know. I definitely blast in and out a lot. I think the biggest thing that's changed though since buying the spa is when we bought it, initially, it wasn't my idea.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my thing. But it quickly became like, I'm not sure if you can own a business. I mean, I probably could have backed off and been like, you know, this is too much. But I was, personality is very much like, well, I'm in it now, so I need to try and do the best, right? Even though I have no idea what I'm doing. And we changed the website. That was huge. I remember staying up until like 4 a.m. I'd be like in the bed, at the bottom of my youngest son's bunk bed. And I'd be like sneaking the laptop out because at the time, like if I got out of the bed, he would automatically wake up. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to work on this. We've rebuilt the website twice in 3.5 years. We moved systems from MindBody to Aesthetics Pro, and now we're moving again to Vagaro. And
that all shows growth, right? Because you're never gonna like stay where you start if you're growing.
Yeah.
So I think they're all amazing changes. Although expensive changes probably, but
very time consuming. Yeah. And but now the business is taking off. So it was just kind of like, not like a hobby, but it was like I want to grow it. I want to see it succeed just because like that's my personality. If I'm doing something, I'm going to do it all the way. But then I had a life change. I got a divorce. last October. And so then it became, oh wait, this is how I'm going to survive.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different, like when you're not relying on it to like feed you or feed your kids, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not, like, it's not really paying the bills. Then you're like, obviously you want to see it succeed, but it's a different, you're like, oh shit, the game just changed. Now there's no other choice but to not only keep it like stable and going, but now we really need to like amp it up and grow it, because if not, okay, have my car repoed. So, but yeah, so, and that was when we bought the CO2 laser. I was like, they got me again. And I'm sitting here like, no, I have to focus. All right, just make this work so you can pay the bills. And now you're paying your own bills with it. And they snuck in on me. And I was like, you know what? If it's meant to be, if we're supposed to have this laser, then fine, everything will just go through. And then it went through really smooth. And I was
made it go through really quick.
I was like, yeah, that was quick. Yeah, what did he bring us? Cookies? From Crumble.
Oh yeah, he did bring us cookies.
He's like, thanks for buying this $1 million machine in 24 hours, and here's some Crumble cookies for you.
Yeah. I feel like after buying the Morpheus though, it felt like a lot. It felt easier. Yeah. They just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. It's that first one where you're like, ugh, you know. Yeah. And then it gets a little easier. Well, then, especially when you see that it helped us grow. But yeah, so I'm excited. I think the next time we do this, we're going to have on Joe. Ooh, he's fun. Oh God, he's so much fun. He was like, I want to do it early in the morning. Joe works for Anteage? Is that right?
Anteage, yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Anteage, I heard.
Anteage.
We'll have to ask him next.
I'm still trying to figure out how we pronounce the name of the spa. Is it Sempre or Sempre?
Sempre. It depends on the day.
It does. And how busy we are when you answer the phone and how country I get. Like
Sempre.
But it means always in Italian, Latin. I don't know. It was the previous owner's name, so we kept it because I didn't have another good one.
So there's a reason behind it.
Yeah. But yeah, Joe's going to be on. He said he wanted to do it fresh first thing in the morning because he said he's just a riot with a cup of coffee. So I've never seen him first thing in the morning. I know I see him in the afternoon. He's
not a riot. So you got to try the morning.
So that's going to be, he's going to be on. We're going to talk about exosomes is what we use. We don't use their skincare or anything, but their exosomes, which are incredible. Because I'm on my second round of hair exosomes.
Yes, they do hair restoration. We do it for skin. You can inject, you can apply topically. So there's multiple different ways and uses for them. So it'll be really good to get into. They're very versatile.
Yeah, and he knows it all.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to have him on.
Yeah.
So, and then other than that, we've got we'll be on once a week with different staff, different reps. I know we have the Cartessa rep lined up.
Yeah.
We've got some different kind of like gurus in their field, like a really great nutritionist that knows all about hormones and things like that. I know he's excited to come on. A couple fitness people too, that kind of help go hand in hand with like our weight loss program. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. Maybe we could even do polls too, like see like what you guys want to hear. Like, do you want to hear about skincare? Do you want to hear about like behind the scenes med spa? Do you want to hear about our weight loss? And maybe we could do like some episodes pertaining to what our Instagram and our followers want to see too.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. We're going to have so many followers. Somebody else that I'm really excited about having, I think, doing this with us is, I think Tamara is going to be a trip.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
She has got some...
She's a TV person.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then Jenny. I think Jenny is going to be funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jenny's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. something that we have, if you're local, I feel like we should plug this until we do it, but it's our next event. So we do an event like once a quarter, and we'll highlight like a certain, service or a couple services or products and stuff like that. And we're doing, June 19th, 6 to 8. And we're going to be talking all about hair restoration and then our new CO2 laser.
Yes.
So we'll have giveaways and drinks and all kind of fun stuff. And I'm working on getting the hat girl.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I can't remember what the name of her thing. We'll have to tell you next time. But anyway, so
they're always fun.
Yeah.
It's a good way to kind of learn more about the service if it's on the back of your mind or you've heard about it or you've been thinking about it. Because we talk all about it. We even do demos too, so you can just kind of see if you don't know how it
are we going to do like a live demo with the laser?
I think we should.
I think we should.
Yeah.
I might be ready for my next one.
Katie's going to be our model.
I want to do the top of my knees for sure. Yeah. Anyway, we got sidetracked. So thanks for tuning in if you tuned in, and we will be back next week with Crazy Joe. What is he called? Joe
Money.
Jane Money. Joe Money.
You have to ask him.
What's that name? All right. And we'll be sharing more skin secrets.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Bye. What else?